Firstly, thank you for having me here, Abhi. My name's Joseph Baksh. Moved to Australia when I was 17 years old, to Melbourne. Did my bachelor's, my master's and everything there, then moved to Singapore for the last 12 years. And, something was always itching at the back of my mind that I'd not yet finished my MBA. So I basically took the plunge. So I was like, if I need to do something and finish my MBA, and I always wanted to do it in Australia because my bachelor's, my master's always been in Australia. So I got that kind of a loving feeling towards this country as one of my own. And that's one of the main reasons as to why I started my MBA last year in April. I am a senior manager and sales director of a company in Singapore, and been doing so for the last 6 years now, but I've actually been a management consultant for the last 19 years or so. I normally focus on strategy, branding, M&As, etc. with SMEs and smaller MNCs worldwide, essentially speaking. So, yep. Well, I think one of the main things that really came as a highlight, essentially speaking, was being able to interact with global leaders from some of these companies which most of us have seen, heard of, researched, in the news, on the internet, etc. And actually being there, and listening to their stories, listening to their growth structures, etc. And actually being and living and seeing, all the different nuances. Like, for example, a couple of the companies that we visited, which was Amazon, as well as, Microsoft and Boeing. One of the main things which I absolutely loved at Amazon was it's bring your dog to work every day, which is unbelievable, which is fantastic. They have this social giving element, which, they distribute thousands of bananas every single day. It's that element of giving which you sort of just read about sometimes, which you can actually then see in person. I think that was a very important aspect which made this international study tour something that will always, remain, the forefront of my heart. Well, there's only that much which can be sort of explained or provided as insights through a couple of sheets of paper or through a 5-minute interview, so to speak. We spent time with these executives. We asked them personal questions. We asked them about their growth stories. We asked them about how their companies that they're working for actually invested into them. So that was a very important element. How we always talk about the best of the best, but they don't just get there. There is someone or something which sort of gives them a bit of a push, a bit of motivation, a bit of a nudge to, give it their 110%. And, how those things help nurture one's character moving forward. So I think one of the main things which is very difficult to get out if you're not actually face to face with a person is to really appreciate their background, the little things that they have been able to get given to them to get them to their present situation, essentially. The same way when you do an interview with someone online, you're speaking to that person, you're asking the same questions, but the body language, the before and after, the little interactions which go beyond the script, which I think was the most important thing I gained, at least, and I'm sure every single other person gained as well from the experience on the international study tour. The other thing I think we gained was mutual harmony and camaraderie within the group. I mean, that was astonishing. Of course, you get to meet your cohort members and your cohort colleagues, etc. But when you are away from pure studies, you mingle, you get to know each other on a more personal level, and I think that was absolutely essential, and that was phenomenal. I mean, I have made friends with 25 people for the rest of my life, which have been my cohort colleagues, including, I must say, that Paul was fantastic. I mean, he's the MBA director, and the entire AIMWA team was fantastic. and James O'Farrell, based in Seattle. He was such a father figure to all of us. It was incredible, starting from the initial evening drinks in Seattle, to the absolute end in San Francisco. It was fantastic, and it was like a whole big family. And I think that really brings a smile to my face, because I don't think that is possible in any other way. Okay, well, see, exactly what I said, right? I mean, you can only get that much of knowledge, that much of clarity through being book smart. I think one of the main things about the International Study Tour is, you've overheard the term book smart and street smart, right? The International Study Tour is basically, in my opinion, a conglomeration of both. So you obviously have done your theoretical research and knowledge gathering, etc., but then you're taking it into the real world. You're actually seeing how things are done. It's not always by the book. Certain things, you've got to be agile and adaptable, etc. And I think that is so important. And that is something which I think the International Study Tour brings out perfectly. And also with regards to the experience, you've got to be there to experience it. Like, for example, a lot of universities nowadays do online classes and stuff. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind online classes, but the thing is, there's a big difference between an online class and face-to-face interactions. So many things which can, never replace the human touch, the human connection. International Study Tour, you must do it if you've got the opportunity, guys, because it is definitely something which, it is expensive, don't get me wrong. AIMWA does give you a steep discount, but the experience, when you weigh it up, the experience and the expense, without a shadow of a doubt, it was completely worth it, and I'd do it 10 times over, because it was fantastic. Ooh, one word or one sentence. Insightful and inspiring. Just a phrase. Insightful and inspiring. Insightful, why? Because honestly, I got to know my cohort colleagues better from a more personal level, including the director, Paul, as well as James and a few other people. So it was insightful in that manner. Seeing people not in a very professional business environment all the time. Like, we went for dinners together, we went for lunches together, we went for seminars together. So it was a mixture of everything. So, I mean, it was insightful as to how, certain people behave in different circumstances and situations. That was the first part of the insightful. The second part of the insightful is obviously getting, personal insights from all the people who we met at all the companies, Amazon, Boeing, Tesla, etc. It was a once in a lifetime kind of an experience, seeing their on the floor, having cars going over you which are being built. I mean, that's not something which you can get on a day-to-day basis. Those insights, those understanding of human mechanics, of human interaction in a very, very large scale environment is definitely something which you have to be there to take advantage of. And inspiring is because I think each and every one of us from the tour has left a bit of each and every one of us with everyone there. We've inspired each other to be better, do better during the tour. Situations and companies and leaders who we have seen and interacted with, they have inspired us with their knowledge, with their understanding, with their worldly vision, with their theoretical knowledge, with their personal background, etc. And it's all been very, very inspiring, so to speak. And I think it's definitely something which each and every one of us who has been on the International Study Tour, not just during my cohort, but previous and also in the future, there's definitely something that each and every one of us would be able to take with us for the rest of our lives. So, insightful and inspiring.